Okay, I've got a bit of a problem photograph here. I've got a baby's face that's too dark, but I've got a background that's also quite covered in sunlight, and the mother's face is really quite bright. I want to try and correct this. So if you take a look in my layers palette, that's my original. I've already done some changes to a new layer. Here it is. Alright, now you can see the baby's face is looking better, but the background's become too washed out, the mother's become too washed out. There's no way that with just one layer I can get all the changes I need to do, probably not even with curves. But there is another way of dealing with this, and that is a quite wonderful thing called a layer mask. So, I'm going to come to my base layer, make sure that's selected. That's the layer I've just done the various adjustments to. And then I'm going to come down to the bottom of my layers palette, and I'm going to come to here, add layer mask. There it is. What is it? It's basically just a sheet of white pixels which has been placed over that layer. But it's white pixels that you can't see. It's a special kind of layer. So now I'm going to find my paintbrush. That's B. Shortcut. I'm going to make sure I've got black selected, because with black you can create a black hole in this layer. Now make sure that I'm drawing on the layer mask, not the image, the layer mask. Going to come here and look what is happening. All of a sudden, the parts of the layer I'm painting from in black are becoming invisible. All around here. I'll leave the shadow area of the mum, but I'll paint out some of these highlights so they're not overdone. And you can see I'm just painting out the new layer. Now you can see I've been a bit too enthusiastic in one or two places, especially around here. That could do with being a little bit lighter, this area, the area around the hair. That is not a problem. Come back to my colour swatch, select white again, still on the layer mask, and I can paint this. When I paint the white areas back in, the new layer becomes visible again. If you use white, whatever you paint on that layer will be 100% visible. If you paint in black, whatever is in that layer will become completely invisible. If I paint in, let's give it a fairly light grey, I paint around here, whatever's on that layer will become partially visible. And you can see here, the layer mask, there's a little tiny representation of it. You've got the black areas, which I've painted out. You've also got that little tiny grey area there, which I've just painted in there. Now I'm moving very fast here, it's just to show you a general principle. But layer masks are a wonderful thing. Use them to knock out bits of whatever layer you're on. So now, if I make this entire layer invisible, that was my original, that was my new bit. I hope you got something out of this video. If you did, maybe you consider clicking on one of the links below and check out my game called Disco Baby, which is on the iTunes Store or Android stores like Google Play. It has 3 different games in it, a memory game, a maths game for children, and a dance along with me game for toddlers to join in with. Thanks for your time.